Hi everyone, this is Joe again. In this video, we're going to be doing the setup and then general overview of how the game plays for Showrunner, the new solo game of the month for this month. All right, so when you first go to set up the game, it's actually a pretty quick setup overall. You're going to take the two mats out that represent the phases of the game. You're going to be taking the mat on the left, which is going to start with phase 1, and then it's going to go into phase 3 on the right card. So you're just going to lay those out right in your middle of your table. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to be taking these orange cubes. The cubes themselves and the components and all this are all prototypes, and they may change, come with the actual game. These may switch to meeples or change color, but essentially these orange ones, for the purposes of this, represent the viewers that you're going to be manipulating over the course of the season. So for the initial setup, you're going to be adding 8 to your side of the board, which is the bottom half of these two boards. So for ease of setup, I like to put 4 in phase 1, 4 in phase 2, and then I'll do the same thing for the rival viewer, so the one you're going to be going up against. But 4 in phase 1, 4 in phase 2. And then the 2 remaining ones go to the fence. Again, the fence basically represents everybody that is not watching either show right now, but you could potentially bring onto your side at some point in the game. Now, I'm going to give a quick overview of the different phases and what's important for each. So in phase 1 is the premiere. If you win phase 1, you're going to be sending rival viewers to the fence. So basically you're going to just dissuade them from getting invested into the season overall. If you lose, they're going to be sending your viewers to the fence. The way you win is essentially having more viewers on your side than the opponent's side. If you have more viewers than the other side, you will take the difference. So if it was 5 versus 4, the difference being 1, the difference is how many you would take away from the side that loses, and they would get added to the fence. Okay. In phase 2, that is the core of the season. If you win this phase 2, you're going to be going up in the ratings, and that's how you actually win the game, because you want to have the highest ratings at the end of the run of essentially 6 seasons or 6 rounds within each encounter with a different rival. And then finally, the finale, phase 3. If you win this phase, you bring viewers back from the fence, back onto your side. That will be available for the next round. Okay, so that's the initial setup with the viewers and the main boards. Now, you're also going to have these other viewers, which are the casual viewers that will essentially come in each game temporarily for 1 round, and then you'll remove them all at the end of each season. So they basically come in, they watch, but then they're not long-term fans of the show. So you'll keep these off to the side. There may be some larger tokens or meeples that will represent like a 5 count, for instance, if you need extra. Okay, next. The next are the different shows. So there's actually, the game's gonna come with 16 different preset shows that you can choose to play as or play against. On the back of the cards, it's got essentially, if you were to play it as the player, what cards you need out of your deck, and then for the rival side, the cards that you need to lay out for the rival show you're playing. For the first game that you guys are going to play, you're going to take The People We Love, which is kind of like a mock-up of like This Is Us kind of show. And then you're going to be playing against Remnants, which is a post-apocalyptic zombie game. So we're going to be setting those over there so we remember which they are. The rest of them can go back to the box, at least for this first round. So you're going to start by flipping these over so you can see exactly what it is that you're going to add. So you have 2 decks of cards. So you're going to have one for the player. So these tarot-sized cards are the player cards. On the back are all different traits that your show could essentially have as its story beats as you play through. For this first one, the player is going to add complicated, romantic, dramatic, thought-provoking, and comforting. So I actually have those on the top of the deck right here. So we're going to take the dramatic cards. There's 3 of each individual trait. So you're going to have a total, essentially, of 15 cards in your deck when you're ready to play the game, 3 of each of the 5 types. And again, once you're comfortable with the game, if you want to make your own show, you can pick any 5 and mix and match. So I'm going to take the 3 romantic cards, the 3 comforting cards, 3 thought-provoking, and then complicated. And then finally, okay. Then the next part, you're going to get the rival cards. So there's a whole deck of rival cards that are the same. You see they look a little bit different where there's just like a little bit more white on those. So you're going to be getting for this one, this instead of taking 3 of each, you're just actually going to take the exact ones that it tells you. So you're going to take 3 atmospheric, 2 intense, and 1 chaotic. So you're going to take those and you're going to lay them out on the top of the board. Here are these right here. So 3 atmospheric, 2 intense, and 1 chaotic. So this is going to represent that zombie show where it's going to be very atmospheric, very intense, and then a little chaotic. Okay, so once you have all your cards, you can then flip these back over so you just remember which show you're playing there. And then you take all of your cards and you shuffle them together. So when you play the game, you're actually going to be going through your cards a total of 2 full times. You're going to take 5 cards in your hand each season and then discard them all at the end of each season, and then you take 5 more cards. So essentially there's 6 rounds that you have in order to win the game. Once you go through all the cards, if you don't get to the top of the ratings, then you would lose. So the next thing you're going to set up is the actual ratings card here. And there's going to be a little token that's going to go with this so you can keep track and slide up and down depending on the ratings of your show. You're going to start off on 0. As you win phase 2 with the season, you're going to try to move up its ratings track. If you ever go above it, to get 6 or higher, then you win the game. Okay, so you can start at 0 there. And the last piece are going to be these program cards. So they're going to look like this, and there's 3 different groups of these cards. So first is going to be the daytime, which is slot 1. This is going to be the easiest difficulty. And there's going to be 10 of each. The slot 2 is going to be late night, and then slot 3 is going to be prime time. So you can basically pick which level you want to play depending on the difficulty of the game. You're going to be taking, so if we start with the daytime as the easiest level to start, you can basically put the rest of the cards off to the side. And there's going to be 10 cards. So you're actually going to discard 4 of them and take it down to 6. So remember, you're going to cycle through your deck 2 full times. And so once you basically run through all these 6 cards, then the game will, that round will end versus that particular rival. Okay, so that is it for setup. That is the entire game. Oh, the last thing is we have these nice little tokens that'll go up here. So as you activate these different cards for the rival on top, if the card is not activated, you can take this no signal and put it on top, and that'll basically signify that that card's not active for this particular round or phase. So we'll leave those up here so they're easily accessible. Okay, so now I'm just gonna give you the overview of one round through and how it's going to work. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to be assigning all of your viewers and what phase you want to put them into. So you could say, I want to put 3 into the premiere, 3 into the actual season, and I want to put 2 into the finale. You set yours the way you want. You're then going to draw your top 5 cards. You're allowed to look at these cards, and then if you need to, you can also, you don't have to set all your viewers into any particular spot until you look at your cards and figure out what strategy you want to take. So once you are ready to go, you're then going to flip the first programming card. On the top left of each card is going to give you essentially like a 3-number ratio. So this one says 2, 2, 1. This is how you're going to distribute the rival cards, or the rival viewers. So you're going to basically take the rival viewers and you're going to drop them in, starting on left to right in that ratio. And then if you have more, you start again in the front and keep going. So you're basically going to, for this one, 2, 2, 1, you're going to put 2, then 2, and then 1. Then you start back in the beginning, 2, and I only have 1 left, so I will just leave it in there. And that is how the rival will be set up for that particular round. Now on the same card, you're going to see phase 1, 2, and 3. The ones that light it up basically indicate which of these rival cards are active for that particular phase. So in this one, it's just basically the 4 and the 5 card. So these 2 intense cards will activate. So you could take these cards up here, put them on top, so you keep track of which ones you can ignore this particular round. And then these 2 intense cards will go. So the way that the game works is you have to activate whatever powers that you want on your side and on the rival side, but you can pick any order you want. So you can decide to play certain cards on your side and then activate the rival, or do the rival first and then activate yours, whatever works most to your advantage. So remember, your goal is to have more viewers on your side than the rival. So these two cards will activate. You see there's each of these rival cards basically has 3 different tiers to them. So depending on how many of a similar type are active, you will then activate that one row. You're going to activate it one time. So even if there's 2 intense cards, you're basically going to go to the tier 2 and you're going to do it one time. So they put one tier 2 represents both of the intenses. So for this one, for intense, you said you add 5 casuals and deactivate 1 non-rival card. So if there was another non-rival card that was active, you could deactivate it and then you would add 5 casual viewers to that particular phase. Okay? Then you could choose to play cards on your side. So you can play Dramatic, which lets you gather more viewers from other phases. So the base action for this is you just add 1 viewer from another phase, so you can move 1 in. You also have the opportunity to amplify a card, which basically means you take another card from your hand and play it face down, and then you basically use a cumulative effect. So you will keep adding effects as you continue to amplify. So if you amplify this one twice, you could add 1 viewer plus 2 more viewers, and then 2 more viewers from the fence. So you could bring them all in. Once you're done playing all your cards that you want to play, you will then total up who has more, and then you'll take whatever action. So the phase 1 will go to the fence, whoever wins phase 2 will adjust the ratings, and phase 3 will add people from the fence. Now you only have 5 cards in your hand per season, which is 1 round. So if you play 3 cards in the premiere, you're only gonna have 2 left for the season and the finale. The final rules with the finale, you can only play 1 card, and it just plays the finale power, which is this power on the bottom of each card. And so it's just like a one-time effect, and then the same thing will happen when you activate phase 3, the 1 card will be played from the rival side. So basically you're gonna complete this, and then you're gonna discard all your cards at the end of the season. When you're all done, so you'll do phase 2 and phase 3, discard your cards, and then draw 5 more. Flip another card over, and then repeat the process again. The last thing that I'll add is there's 2 kind of like in-between phases. So there's Media Blitz, which happens after the season. So essentially, if the rival has 4 or fewer viewers, they're allowed to take viewers from the fence, but you will get a boost to your ratings for every time that they do that. And then at the very end, after the phase 3 action, you have the opportunity to do Hype Train, where you can basically sacrifice a rating in order to grab additional viewers that are sitting in the fence. So all the cards that activate all do different things. So there's a lot of cards that will send viewers to the fence. They'll send rival viewers to the fence. It'll allow you to gain viewers from the fence. So it's not just within phase 3. Some of the cards have powers like that you can manipulate fence viewers. But that is essentially it. So I will do another video now, which will be more like an actual run through, so you could see it play in real time and see some of the different combinations and how it comes to life. But hopefully that gives you a general sense of how it works. Thanks.